guys, how are you doing? Spurs Live here. We're back with a new video. We've got some interesting content talking to you guys tonight about. I'm looking forward to it. And if anyone wants to come join the stream, they're more than welcome. I'm going to be sending a link to the chat right now, and I'll pin it right now. So there it is. It's linked. It's in the chat. Dimitris, what's up, mate? How you doing? I hope to see you on the show very, very soon. All right. So Dimitris, yes, I see you, mate. You're more than welcome to come on the show. As you know, you are part and you are part of the Spurs Live on the YouTube, so you're more than welcome to come join. If anyone else wants to come and join, they are more than welcome. Cool kids, how you doing, mate? How are you doing? Good to see you here. One of our regulars. Will Ben be on today? No, unfortunately, he cannot come today. He wasn't able to do today. As you know, Ben is part of the Spurs Live YouTube channel, and unfortunately was not able to come and join. Give us 1 second. All right, guys. I think this is better, much better now. If the internet's really, really bad in my end, so it could be that. I'm not gonna lie, internet has not been doing great the last couple of days. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Dimitris, we're waiting for you, and obviously you're more than welcome to come on. As long as same with everyone else. Anyone who wants to come on can come, and no pressure. All right, so we've got a couple of stuff talking about today. Let's start talking about the regular. The team has gone to South Korea, to Seoul. I don't know how you pronounce it, but the team is basically like this. Hugo Lloris is the goalkeeper alongside Fraser Foster, Brandon Austin, Josh Keeley, Davinson Sanchez, Christian Romero, Eric Dyer, Jeffrey Tanganga, Malachi Fagan, Walcott, Ben Davis, Charlie Sayers, Matt Doherty, Emerson Royale, Rodrigo Bentancur, Yves Bissouma, Pete Matarson, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Oliver Skip, Harvey White, Ryan Sessegnon, and then we've got Ivan Perisic, Brian Hill, obviously the youngster who just came in from Valencia, I think, or Villarreal, Dejan Kulusevski, Richarlison, HarryKane, Troy Parrott, we've got Lucas Moura and HeungMinSon. So it's a solid team that are going to come out and practice in the South Korea, and it's going to be a good tour. I think in general, I'll be excited to see who really can step up their game and see who's really back to fitness. Obviously, Eric Lamela used to be the king of this preseason, used to be scoring all the time the goals. So I think we said hello to everyone. Let's just say hello again. Dimitris, what's up? Maybe you can come on. If anyone wants to come on, the link is there. That's where the link is. You're more than welcome. Cool kids, what's up? Great to see you again. And Felix Servers, nice to see you, mate. Have a good one. All right. So first one is we're going to be talking about, I'm going to share the screen right now, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the players and where they will perform and how they will perform. So let's go into Chrome tab and let's go into this and then slideshow and like this. All right, boom. Right, okay, let's get straight into it. Who's here? Is Ben coming on today, Josh? No, Ben's not coming on today, unfortunately. He cannot do today, but tomorrow he will be on. All right, so Richarlison, what a striker he is. He's an unbelievable striker, but where will he play in terms of Antonio Conte? Because he can play as a striker, he can play as a left winger, he can play as a cam as well, centre forward. So he's very versatile, not as much as Jesus is, Jesus that Arsenal just signed, but Richarlison is very, very, very versatile as well. More than people think. He can play in the left wing position as well as striker, but striker is his main position to be playing at. So in terms of as a pure strike, I think Richarlison is the best option for Tottenham Hotspur. He will definitely not be getting as much game time as he did for Everton, but on the other hand, he will be getting quite a fair amount of game because we got Champions, we've got FA, we got Carabao, we got Premier League, we got what else? We got quite a fair amount of league games or just games in general to be playing. So I'm pretty sure Richarlison will have a lot to offer us on the pitch when he does play as well. Richarlison is a Brazilian striker who, for some reason, doesn't know English yet. I mean, I don't understand how he's been like around for Everton for like 5 years or 6 years, something like that. I'm pretty sure, and he still does not know any English. It's pretty mental. Yeah, that's really I got to say regarding Richarlison. So yeah, I mean, so let's talk a bit about Richarlison's numbers. I mean, Richarlison as a striker, he's pretty insane. What are your thoughts? Comment down below in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts regarding Richarlison? I mean, is he really the striker we wanted? I'm seeing him. His market value obviously is 60. Is his current market value is 48 mil. We paid 65 mil for him. He can play as a centre forward, left winger, and a right winger as well, which is very versatile and it's amazing. What's up, Isaac? How are you doing? How's it going, mate? All good, all good. Great to have you here on the show. Any comments will be much appreciated down below. And if you want to join the live, you know what to do. You can just call in and you'll be instantly added. But if we go and check out his stats, Richarlison, he's an attacking centre forward. For Everton, they bought him from Watford for around 25 mil, if I'm correct, 39 mil. And he's Brazilian's second top scorer. He scored, let's see, in his career stats, he's got 48 goals, 18 assists. FA's got 5 goals, 0 assists. EFL Cup, 5 goals, 1 assist. Copa America, he's got 2 goals, 1 assist. In total, he's got 78 goals and 30 assists. And he had 262 minutes. So he's got 78 goals in 262 minutes, which is pretty decent. Are you glad we got to Richarlison over Gabriel Jesus? Personally, I'll be honest with you. Personally, I was hoping for Jesus because I thought he's a better striker, much better. But I'm happy we got Richarlison. We got to stick with what we got. He cost us 65 mil, and not every striker costs 65 mil in today's world. So Richarlison in general, I think he's a very, very good player. Coolkid said good striker, but we paid too much. He can adjust with his positions, but never 60 mil. Listen, I agree with you, Dimitris. What's up, mate? How you doing?
Yes, Josh. How are you, matey?
I'm good. Buzzing to have you on this show tonight.
Oh, do you know what, mate? I love joining your shows.
Yeah, great. I'm happy to have you. I mean, at least we have now someone to talk to and to have some opinions.
Yeah.
How's your weekend been?
Do you know what, mate? It's been really good. It's been really good, but it's just been too hot.
Yeah, apparently like 30 degrees.
Too hot.
Yeah. Pretty mental. All right, so we in the meantime we're talking about Richarlison and how much of a striker he is for Tottenham Hotspur. We got a comment from Isaac. Are you glad we got Richarlison over Jesus? So personally, I say I would rather Jesus, but who would you rather have?
Do you know what? To be honest, when we were looking at Gabriel Jesus, we were looking on to get him, and then when I was watching Sky Sports News the other day of the transfers, I actually heard that Arsenal were in to get him as well.
Yeah.
So there was
Arsenal as well.
To be honest, I would love to have a Jesus as a striker for us. But then the next day when I saw Sky Sports, they were actually talking about Richarlison moving to Spurs.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not I'm not saying he's a rubbish player.
Yeah, no, same. I think he's a fantastic player.
He's a fantastic player, but to be honest, we should have got Jesus than Richarlison.
Yeah, no, I'd agree, but we got to stick with what we got. We got Jesus, we got Richarlison, which in the meantime, I mean, he hasn't done much, but because he hasn't played yet. We just literally signed a couple of days ago. Hasn't done much, hasn't shown us anything. Like he hasn't done anything to the media that I'm like, wow, this is insane.
Yeah. To be
So
honest, we can
yeah,
actually. To be honest, because we've got a preseason game coming up on Saturday against Seville, he might even
yeah,
be playing.
could be,
And
could be,
and I know we've got Fran Foster on a free transfer and
yeah.
Perisic as well. See, it's like with these preseason like friendly games. To be honest, Tottenham doesn't really care about the friendly games. They just don't like really care about the for friendly games because it's a friendly game and they don't really care.
No, listen, it's all about what's going to happen, not right now. I mean, you can't happen anything right now, but we've got a couple comments, so let's just react to it. So let's start with Just Thinks. It says Kyle Walker Peters or Spence. Ooh,
To be honest, I was actually on my Instagram
yeah,
an hour ago, and I was going through, and it had Spurs web talking
yeah,
about Cole Peters
yeah,
because I know we sold him for 30 million to Southampton, but Tottenham
yeah.
want to try and get him back with because Tottenham want to try and get him back with the same money that with the same 30 million that they let him that we sold him to Southampton.
So we could get him back for 30 mil because that's a buyback clause. Apparently, that's according to the who is it? The Spurs web, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look. If we face it, if you now can buy a 15 mil unproven right wing back who apparently is like extremely good, who would you rather have, Jed Spence or Kyle Walker Peters right now? Personally, I would probably rather Kyle Walker Peters because he's proven, but Jed Spence looks like another deal. Why? What about you? Kyle Walker Peters or Spence?
Spence, who does he play for? What team does he play for again?
Middlesbrough.
Oh, Middlesbrough.
I was going to say Nottingham Forest. I was like, what?
Actually, do you know what? With Spence, I actually saw a championship game. I
Yeah,
saw a Middlesbrough game against someone in the championship, and when Spence actually had the ball as the right back, he was actually sprinting down that that right
the right wing back.
wing back, and he was actually good.
Yeah.
Because I've been going on Instagram every morning and every evening, and I'm scrolling up
Seeing what there is.
and from the Spurs live and the
Yeah.
Spurs web, I've actually been seeing Tottenham that they want to that they've been trying to get him.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It'll be good because if we get Spence, then we can sell Matt Doherty
Yeah.
because Matt Doherty ain't. Because Matt Doherty, he's not really that good for us anymore.
It depends though, because if we're talking about a right wing back position, I would personally have Matt Doherty as a substitution that can play as a left wing as well. I mean, Matt Doherty would definitely not start for us if we do a in the meantime. Because I think maybe for the first or second time he would start, but probably not in my opinion. This guy lost his dressing room. I don't really know who you're talking about. Sorry, mate. Saw something today about a 30 mil buyback clause for Kyle Walker Peters, but personally, I don't think he's worth that much. Yeah, we talked about it. I mean, Demetrius, do you think he's worth 30 mil?
To be honest, I don't think he is worth 30 mil
Yep,
because
I
he's
agree.
at he was 30 mil when we had him,
Yeah,
but because he's at Southampton, I think his wages have gone up more. I don't think he's worth 30 mil at Southampton.
yeah. I agree. I don't think he's worth 30 mil. Jesus would never come to Spurs and sit on the bench instead of sitting on the bench at Man City. And listen, mate, it's true, very, very
Do
true.
you know what?
It's true. No, I mean, you can't say not.
To be honest, we were actually wait. Who said that? Spence.
Yeah. No, Jesus would never come to Spurs.
Yeah, but who said that message?
Cool kids.
Cool kids. To be honest, we were actually on the run to get
Jesus.
Jesus, mate. But I'm afraid Man City. Man City. Where did I get Man City from? Arsenal.
Arsenal just
Arsenal wanted to get him.
Yeah. I mean, it just shows whatever the team he wants, they can get. Now, I just want to say thank you so much for 550 subscribers, guys, absolute legends. Each and every single one of you who have subscribed and are commenting on the show is absolutely crazy. Thanks so much. On the topic of fullbacks, I've been seeing things about Tanganga to AC Milan. I personally think he's not ready for the
not
Prem,
yet.
but I think we should loan, not sell. He could be a good player for the future.
To Lo Celso.
No, this is about Tanganga. He could be a good one for the future, apparently. What do you think? Do you think he could be a good one for the future?
Do you know? To be honest, we don't really play him because
she does. She's a fucking idiot.
Because to be honest, we've got three right backs.
Yeah.
We've got Tanganga, Emerson, and Matt Dotsey.
Yeah.
See, to be honest, we can sell Tanganga.
Yeah.
And we can sell Tanganga, get either Spence or Kyle Walker in. And then, sell Tanganga, get either Kyle Walker, Peter, or Spence in the team. And then if we get one of them, and then we can sell Matt Dotsey as well.
That could be good. No? I mean, if you get Kyle Walker Peters before good amount of money, I don't want none of these rubbish, 60, 50, 40 mil. None of that. I just want, basic 15, 20 mil done deal, yalla. That's it.
To be honest, Kyle Walker Peters, he is getting good right now. So it will be good seeing him back in his Spurs shirt.
True. I mean, it could be nice to see him back, but Doherty was good for a few games, but you can never judge him off a few games. True, very, very, very true. All right, let's go into the next part of today's live. Because I just don't want to be very, very long and drag this live out. So let's go on to Lenglet. I mean, Lenglet to Spurs now. I mean, done deal. Here we go. He's looking like an absolute, interesting centre back. Where do you see him play? I mean, would he play as a left centre back? Would he play as a main centre back? Would he play as a substitution? What part of the starting XI of Antonio Conte will we see Lenglet play?
Right, Lenglet to Spurs. He's on a loan until next year, so he'll be going back to Barcelona. But to be honest, I don't think he'll be playing as a centre back because we've got Ben Davis, Dyer, and Christian Romero.
And you don't think he can fight for it? I mean, it's very debatable if he can fight for it or not. I mean, lots of people say he can fight for it.
To be honest, he can actually To be honest, he can keep Ben Davis and Dyer on, and he can put Christian Romero on the bench.
Yeah,
because he's been playing centre back since last year's season, since at the start of last year's season. Because to be honest, we don't. Because when Spurs are playing in the Premier League, we don't actually change our centre backs. We actually change our midfield and our front people.
Look, I agree, but I feel like what Isaac is trying to say, I also connect to what Isaac said. He said he's just a thriller till we can get Bastoni at the end of the season, but I think he'll play probably 60 to 70% of the games if he proves his worth, obviously. Mate, guys, if anyone wants to come join the channel, join the live, they're more than welcome. The link is in the description and it's
Actually, to be honest,
yeah. What do you say? What do you say to this comment?
Actually, to be honest, managers when they get players on loan, they play them in the Premier League, and then actually they actually think in their head, like with the people who owns the club and that buys their players, the managers actually think in their head, like at the match, they actually think, oh, okay, so this player's good, I might sign him. I might sign this person off loan and keep him at the team. See, if I was a manager and I was getting, if I was a manager for Spurs, and I was I brought like Sterling on loan.
Right. That would be an insane transfer if he would have come.
And I put it, and I purchased him on loan, and then I played him for like a few games, and then I'll think in my head, okay, he's good. I'm gonna go back to Daniel Levy and say, Daniel Levy, right? Daniel Levy, I've seen a Sterling Harry plays. Can we actually buy him off loan? That's my personal thing that I will do.
Right.
See, because with Lenglet, I've actually seen him play at Barcelona, because I was a Barcelona fan when Messi was there, and I've actually seen him play, and to be for him as a centre back, he's actually really good as a centre back. So he can actually put Cristiano Romero on the bench to relax and put Lenglet in the centre back position. He's good as a left back as well.
Dimitris, yeah. Then we will need a main centre back, but we've got we've got an interesting Lenglet, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Am I cutting out?
No.
All right. So we got a new person on the live. His name is Jake. What's up, Jake? How you doing? I haven't seen you on the live before. Jake? Right, we're waiting until he's ready to come on. Let's give him a second. But we'll continue with Outcome though. And say, if Lenglet is the right solution, would you? And there's no option to buy. Who do we get? Do we get Bastoni next season?
To be honest, Bastoni, I don't really know because I haven't seen him play. So to be honest with Bastoni, I don't know how he is as a centre back.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I feel like if we do get, or we'll wait for Jake till his mic is ready. If we do get a defender, then it has to be someone like Bremer or Bastoni. Or
I was thinking for Spurs, if they want a centre back, they can get Dumfries.
Dumfries is also good, but he plays. Where does Dumfries play? I'm pretty sure Dumfries plays as a
right back.
Right back, yeah, he plays as a right back. Jake, are you there?
I don't think his mic's working.
No, his mic says it's not working. We'll wait until he unmutes it. But so if we continue with the conversation of Lenglet and left centre back and centre back, if you have to now choose where you play him, would you play him instead of Dyer or instead of Davis? That's the main question.
Right, for Lenglet. Right. I'm gonna be honest with you, Josh.
Yeah.
Right, with Lenglet, I'm gonna probably say centre back.
Centre back. So what? Like main centre back.
Jake text on the thing. He goes,
Ready?
let me have a look. What? One sec.
Yeah. I can see. He says in private chat. So as a centre back or a left centre back, where would you play him instead of Dyer or instead of Ben Davies? Realistically, how he's not going to play over Romero. Yeah, he's not going to play over Romero. So that's why we're saying, will he play as a left centre back or a centre back?
Do you know what? To be honest, Ben Davies was a left back last
Yes.
season, but now he's a centre back. Actually, no. With the centre backs, they actually say left centre back or right centre back.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say I will put him as a left centre back when where Ben Davies plays.
Yeah, I think his Jake.
Are you fucking for real?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Jake?
Jake, can you hear us?
His mic is unmuted.
Yeah.
No, mate, we can't hear you. Whatever, we'll cover the topic of Perisic, but we've got another person here, waiting for the live, and here he is. He's
I can
Javier.
hear
He's been
you.
on this for a couple of times. You guys should know him already. What's up, Javier? How you doing, mate? Is everyone's mic today not working? Is everyone's mic not working?
We can't
today?
hear you, mate.
So we'll wait until he can fix his mic. Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. We'll wait. Let's continue with the topic though. Regarding we'll take you out the stream just in the meantime, Aviel, until you sort your mic out, and then invite us in our private chat that it's ready. So we've got a lot of topics to talk about today.
Really weird.
The main one I want to talk about. Well, I mean, it's not actually meant. No, let's talk about something else. Okay, Aviel, how you doing? Your mic is back.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, perfect.
Now I can hear you, mate.
How you doing?
Is my screen a bit blurry or is it only for me?
No, it's blurry, but it's fine.
No,
It's good. It's fine.
It's
Perfect.
blurry, but we can see you.
Okay, perfect.
So we're on a topic today of a couple of players. So we just talked about Lenglet. I want to move it over to Foster because I don't want this slide to be that long. So
Wait, can I just have my word on Lenglet?
Yeah, go for it. Have it. Go for it. Yeah.
I just want to ask. So Clement Lenglet. So wait, is everyone here positive about him or negative about the sign?
I think he should be positive. Well, what about you?
I don't think he's played amazing in Barca, especially for his abilities. But what I can see is how he can transform into an amazing player, and I do think that Lenglet should fit the system very well because Conte is really good in incorporating centre backs. Let's say Davinson Sanchez wasn't that good last year, but he managed to play, and it's an easy system as a centre back to adapt to, and that's why I think Lenglet will do well, especially when he's I think he's the only left-footed one out of them all.
I mean, also Ben Davies is left-footed, but he plays as a left
Davies, but I guess he'll be chosen above Ben Davies, not in the first weeks. But anyways, I do think that he will he'll get a lot of attention as he is a left-footed centre-back, and that can truly help him adapt to the system. Yeah,
I agree. Dimitris, do you think that the relationship between Antonio Conte and Lenglet is going to help?
To be honest, I don't really know because Antonio Conte hasn't really he doesn't really know Lenglet, so I don't really know how their relationship is going to work.
Look, it all depends because right now we've got a great relationship between the defenders. Obviously, Dyer has great relationships with Skippy and Højbjerg and Bentancur, the midfielders, and it's important to have good relationships in the back with Dyer if we have Lenglet and if we have now Romero and Kulusevski there. That's very important. That's the key. So I think we covered the topic of Lenglet. Let's go over to Foster and talk about Foster. All right, Foster. My guy Foster. He's now joined the club on a free transfer. And yeah, what are we going to talk about? Fraser Foster. Let's start with.
We've got Lenglet on our screen.
Have you guys got Lenglet? Are you sure?
Yeah, I've got Lenglet on my screen. I mean,
on
my screen.
I think you're the only one.
Okay, 1 second. All right. Let's share screen again. Let's go to. Demetrius, why don't you start off with Lenglet whilst I get this up? On Foster, sorry. What are you excited to hear about Foster?
To be honest with Foster, I know he's from Southampton,
Yeah.
but I think he can like play like in like a Carabao Cup or FA Cup games.
Yeah. Can you guys see that now? Can you see now Foster, by the way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. So, Aviel, do you think Foster will play that much for Tottenham? Obviously, we got Hugo
So
Lloris,
I do
World Cup
think
winner.
as Hugo Lloris is getting older, it's not
Yeah.
that Forster isn't old, but both of them I think are going to be rotated. I don't think
Run on someone's
Forster's going to
exes.
play Premier League
Yeah.
games, but I am sure Forster will play some Premier League games to cover up for Lloris to rest, or if there's a Champions League game, whereas I don't think Forster is experienced as Lloris is to be
Yeah.
able to play in a Champions League game, and that's why I think it would be ideal that, like, if we have a big game against, I don't know, Chelsea before in the
Yeah.
Carabao Cup, which couldn't be more important over a game in Champions League, I'm sure Forster will take. So I think he'll be an additional, he'll be a tool that we can use so Lloris can get rest before big games. And Lloris hasn't had much time to rest as he's been the main goalkeeper, especially with Golini not getting any time last season. And he
Yep.
is growing old, and I think he's above 34, something like that.
He's
So
around 31, I think.
no, he's older. We've had that talk already. I think he's
Did
above
we?
33. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, I do think that having Forster would be amazing because it
Wait,
gets
35. You're right. He's 35.
a 35-year-old keeper, and and he's still performing top level. And at some certain point, you lose fitness, and that's why I think Forster would be amazing for cup games or being able to play instead of Lloris, because he is a really he's had so much experience.
Yeah.
Maybe he's played with Southampton, but playing for a bad defensive Southampton and keeping some clean sheets here and there, it's pretty impressive. So I think having Forster is brilliant because it's a goalkeeper who knows the Premier League. He knows
Yeah.
how English football is. It will be easy for him to adapt, and it's a perfect solution to get Lloris some rest sometimes. And I can see him playing quite a lot of games, even some Premier League games, to play the Carabao Cup games. Yeah.
Jake, sorry, but 1 second, Aviel. Jake, can you hear us? Speak for a second. Can anyone hear him?
No.
Now, mate, can you hear us? No. Sorry, bro. We'll try a different time when you come on. Look, Aviel, everything that you said, I agree 100% with, especially the point where you make that, Hugo Lloris needs to have some rest time, therefore you got
He's 35. He's 35.
He's 35 years old. Yeah, that's mental. Look, in terms of goalkeepers, who would you rather have for a Burnley game? Would you rather have Fraser Foster? Or would you have Hugo Lloris? I mean, let's talk.
Foster.
Who?
Fraser Foster. But you know what? I wouldn't say Burnley. Burnley is a tough club, and we know how pivotal it can get. And
Yeah.
you know what? I think Fraser Foster, because he's English, he's got this in his veins. He knows how to play these games, and it's a game where if you come with the sheet ready for the game and you're prepared. With Burnley, it's a game of preparation, and I think it's exactly what Forster can do because he's used to that. And I think I'd take Forster. But you know what? It matters the circumstances, because if we have a big game in, let's say, 3 days, Champions League,
then you'd rather have Foster, yeah.
If there's no big games, I'll take Lloris, because he is more reliable, and I prefer having Lloris in goal as I trust him more. And
so, Demetrius, the main question was who would you rather have for a Burnley game, or like a Crystal Palace or Southampton? Would you rather have Fraser Foster, knowing that you got Champions League in 2 days, 3 days? Would you rather play Fraser Foster and risk not having the 3 points, or would you
You
rather
know
have?
what? If we
Yeah.
had, say, if we played Burnley on a Saturday, and
Yeah.
then we've got like, I don't know. So say like we've got like say like Fenerbahce in our Champions League on a Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll actually play Fran Foster at the Burnley game, and then play Lloris in the Champions League, like against like Fenerbahce, say, or some other team for the Champions League.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. I mean, Avial's agreeing with you here.
I
Same as
agree what he says as well, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like he said, I will play Fran Foster as well in a Burnley
I
game.
mean, you got to remember, Fraser Foster was #1 for Southampton, if I'm correct, and he's not a terrible keeper. He knows how to do. He knows how to keep the goals out of the net. He knows how to be a solid goalkeeper.
And it's not like he's been in Southampton years ago where they weren't relevant. Southampton are a strong club. They play strong football, and it's the strong club who plays strong football, especially under Hassan Huslut. They play good, strong football.
Attacking, yeah.
They play attacking football, and they get counter-attacked a lot of the time, and he saves, and he's a good goalkeeper for Southampton. And Southampton have been there. They've been in the top 10, which is pretty impressive because it's the Premier League is a strong league with many teams that can easily, like in the blink of an eye, play like a prime, I don't know, like a prime Real Madrid for 10
Yeah.
minutes. And the next minute, you're losing to Burnley, and you can play amazing, but it just proves because each team in the Premier League is a quality team, really serious.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to be a Premier League team. And Fraser Forster has been able to captain, I think he was the captain, but you know what? He's been able to play with Southampton and
keep up with that level.
Exactly. Keep up with that level. Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Go for it.
Because my first game was against Southampton.
Yeah.
Do you think Conte will play Fran Foster against Southampton?
Oh. Why? Because Fraser Foster used to be at Southampton, and that whole theory.
But why would he do that? There's no point. Like, for what?
Yeah.
It's just like any other Premier League game. I
Yeah,
think.
but I'm just saying. But I know. But I'm just saying. But would you think he will play Fran Foster, or do you think he'll play Hugo Lloris?
I don't think there's much decision here because it's just any other Premier League game. Nothing special going on here. Playing your old club. It's not a whole big, it's not a big event or something going on.
And also that's also one of the problems that who did Moussa Sissoko play for now? Is it Newcastle?
Oh, what, Nick Pope? Yeah, Nick Pope.
No, who does Moussa Sissoko play for now?
Moussa Sissoko.
Watford.
Yeah.
Watford. Yeah.
So when we sold Moussa Sissoko to Watford, then the next game of theirs was against us, and I remember Moussa Sissoko started and was captain as well. No, wasn't captain. I think just started, and that just shows that it didn't work out with them. I think we beat them 4-0 or something like that, and it just shows
No, it was 1-0 away from home.
It doesn't matter. It's Watford. We anyways beat them 4-0. You play the player. If you have a player and he's a good player, you're not going to bench him or not play him because of that. I think we're going way off topic, so let's keep on with the topic, guys.
Yeah, he's actually the captain for Watford.
He also captained Watford, exactly. Interesting. All right, so let's go on to the next player, and we'll talk about this player because this has got much more interesting stuff to say about him. And BISSOUMA. Can you guys see him?
Yep.
All right, BISSOUMA, the centre mid / CDM. He can play both as a central defensive midfielder, but also as a centre midfielder. Controls the game amazingly. Knows how to intercept the passes. Avia, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on Bissouma, on the signing of Bissouma, and will he have to fight for his place in the squad, or will it be given to him automatically?
In what context do you mean? What do I think of Bissouma? Do I think he can fit in the squad? What do I think of the signing? What do
you
I
think of
think?
the signing in general? Let's start. What do you think of the signing in general?
I think it's a good signing because we do lack some midfield quality. We do lack some not midfield quality, some extra midfielders. You know, we lack it because we need some. You know, you never know. Oliver Skip was out, and we were lucky to have Bentancur, and we were lucky to get him in a short period of time. We were lucky to have Bentancur there, and it wasn't that much of a problem. But you know, we're going to be Premier League, Champions League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup.
You're gonna have a lot of matches to play.
Two or three, you know, two quality midfielders, because you know I can't trust Skip yet. He's a good player. On his day, he can be a lovely player to watch him play, but he's Oliver Skip, and he's a brilliant player to watch, and he's a good player. He's young, but that's the problem.
Very young.
He's young. He hasn't got enough experience, and I can't say I trust you to play in a Champions League final. Yves Bissouma, on the other hand, I'm not saying that he's the most reliable, but he has experience. He's older, and it changes your mindset when you play the game, which makes me say that I'm going to tell you, I think it's brilliant that we have Bissouma, because that means we can he can pair up with any of the midfielders, because he can play centre mid or centre defensive mid, which makes him really adaptable when we need an extra player. So he can come on in the middle of the half and play instead of a player. And let's say I don't know, Højbjerg is injured, so he can play as a centre mid, centre defensive mid, or if Skip is injured and we don't have any defensive midfielders, so he's a player that we can use for a lot of he's really rotational, and he's good for the squad because it lets a lot of other players rest. And you know, I don't know how he'll play under Conte, because we need to see, because I don't clearly know how he played under Potter. I have never watched him play except against Spurs, which he played good. But it's good to have an extra midfielder who is not young and can do the job and has experience. Exactly. And we're talking Champions League football and 2 cup leagues and Premier League. So we need an extra midfielder. So I think
let's face it, it's important to have squad depth and midfield depth, especially if you're playing with a 3-5-2. Demetrius, are you there?
I'm here, Josh.
I know you got to go soon. So let's just ask you a final question. For Bissouma, obviously we've been over the thing of, you know, Bissouma starts now, team and everything, but will he add something to the team that the team doesn't already have, or not?
To be honest, the only time I've seen Bissouma play is when he's been playing against Tottenham.
Yeah.
That's the only time that I've seen him play. But to be honest, I think he should start in the squad.
Over who?
Well, we actually play Hobart, Højbjerg, don't we? So I think he will. I think he will play actually over Højbjerg.
All right, so you think you'll play over Højbjerg? Okay, so it's great to have you on the stream, Demetrius. Have a good one, and I hope you can come back on sometime. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah.
All right. So I feel like I just cut him out one thing. Demetrius, you right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, cool. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. All right. So Abiel, let's talk a little bit about Bissouma more into detail. You know, where would you play? Would you play him as a CDM or as a centre mid? Because there's 2 different roles that he has. Personally, I think he'll play. I would play him as a centre mid because he's more versatile like that. He can go up and plays a
He
calm
can
and help.
intercept the pass and go for the counter attack, which is
exactly.
what we're looking for to
And make
start them.
passes, go back and intercept passes, and especially with Højbjerg alongside him, that'll be a really good duo. Do you think Bissouma is going to be absolutely amazing? Do you think, or would he be decent?
Listen, I think it's not going to be much different for him because he's playing in the Premier League. There's not much going to go around for him. Not much going on. It's a bit of excitement playing and knowing I can work hard and I can be in the starter of the Champions League squad. But you know what? I think he'll play quite well and he'll get used to to playing for Spurs and playing in the Champions League, which is an extra cup, and playing at a higher level and playing with better players, which I think would, if you think about it, a good player also needs a good team. You can't have Messi will not be and not get as much goals if he doesn't have good players around him. A good player also has a good team around him, which is why I obviously choose a good team. So I think Bissouma will go on and make a good performances. He'll get some solid performances, and I think it'll take some time for him to get used to being in a big club, but he'll settle in quite quickly in terms of playing. But I just think it's just a matter of time, and we need to see how it's going to go on. But I think he'll be quite a good player and a player we need.
Can he be as important, or if not more important, than Højbjerg in the future? In your eyes,
I think he can. I think he is. I think he's younger than Højbjerg.
Bissouma,
But
versus
I have seen him play only twice against Arsenal and against Spurs, and in both of this time, his play is electric, and there's players that are quiet and you don't realize, but with the ball and off the ball, you can see him everywhere, which is really good. And I do think that he'll take over Højbjerg, but not that quickly. Højbjerg has made himself a key player because
100%.
Højbjerg is. It's not
Højbjerg is 1 year older.
It's the consistency of those performances. No bad performances. No awful performances where you would say, "Oh my God, that's awful." He's put in consistency and played many games with Nuno, with Mourinho, with Conte. He's played, and for a reason, because he's consistent. He's Mr. Consistent. It's good to watch him because he's not going to do a big mistake, and if you see him produce something amazing, you'll be like, "Well done, mate." So Bissouma needs to reach that kind of consistency. When he reaches that, I think he'll be able to take over.
I think he can definitely reach it. Do you think he can reach it?
Only time can tell.
Only time will tell. All right, let's go over to Perisic. He is going to be our left midfielder / left winger / left wing back. Sorry. He's a very interesting player. Do you think he will play as a left midfielder or as a left wing back? I mean, look, let's face it. Ryan Sessegnon has slightly shown a little bit of his true self towards the end of the season, but obviously we'll all start Perisic ahead of Sessegnon. Do you think Perisic will play as a left midfielder or left wing back?
Actually, it's a good question. Yeah. And we actually did buy Sessegnon in a position when we bought Sessegnon, we bought him as a player of he's left back and has amazing attacking attributes. He can go up, he can cross the ball, he can dribble, he can be there when the left wing needs to make that tracking run. So I think Sessegnon was the player we wanted to get. He never got a chance, and we got some glimpse of that towards the end of the season. So I do think we're going to get.
Sessegnon deserves another chance.
What do you mean another chance? Perisic is here for a year or two. He's going to, in my opinion, what Perisic is going to do, he's going to guide Sessegnon and show him. And he's not going to show him personally, but what Perisic is going to do is that he is going to be playing those big Champions League games, going to be playing on important games, and then Sessegnon gets to learn from that, and he plays on those small games. And I think it's a very good mix, because let's say when Toby Alderweireld and Vertonghen were playing, and then we sign Eric Dyer. Eric Dyer, he's not going to be the best player, but he comes up to the scene. He wasn't always the best player, because you're comparing him to Vertonghen and Alderweireld, the best centre-backs in Spurs, and a very good duo. And what I'm trying to say is that he learned from them many years, and then when they went, he started to play. So I think it's going to be an important part of Sessegnon's career to see how he plays, how Perisic plays, and to learn from him how to be versatile in positioning. So how to be, I'm going to be a left mid, I'm going to be a left wing back. I'm going to mix it this time. I can be this, I can be that, and to learn a lot from Perisic. And I think Perisic will play in the left mid position, as he isn't amazing in defense, but he will come back down to track, obviously, in defense. But I think he'll be, when you watch him play, he'll play more as a left mid.
I have to slightly disagree with you. I think he's going to play as a left wing back. The problem for me is that, look, if we got Ryan Sessegnon and we got Perisic and we both want them to get game time, who are you giving? I mean, for me, I think it's clear that you give Perisic more game time because he's more experienced, especially in that Champions League games. You give Perisic your time. You give Ryan Sessegnon, the Carabao Cup time, the little Premier League games here and there. But do you think Ryan Sessegnon will get equally the same amount of game time or less?
I think it's going to be Perisic will play Champions League's game, but then you think about it. Perisic is going to be like Perisic can be able to, let's say, think about it like that. Perisic is going to be the player we will be seeing starting on Champions League games. But then we have Sessegnon, who, if he suddenly starts on a Champions League game, there'll be pressure on him, and that's why he'll be like, everyone's going to see him as, oh my God, you're not playing like Perisic. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. And you'll get criticized because he'll be in the shadow of Perisic. And that's the problem. Because what we want is Perisic to play the big games and Sessegnon to start learning from him and admire his play and take all of that in and start playing like Perisic, because both of them have similar attributes, and that's what we want. We want to see Sessegnon, when Perisic leaves, we want to see Sessegnon becoming a player that can follow the footsteps of Perisic and Spurs. And I think it's Conte's decision what will happen, but I think it's going to be a very important part of the career for Sessegnon, because you'll get to learn from the master, and then you'll become the student becomes the master.
So let's rank in terms of from 1 to 10 how good these transfers have been. So you start. So Richarlison, 1 out of 10, or 1 to 10. How much would you give him?
I'd give it a solid 7.5.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say 7. Bang on there.
Because you know what? I don't know how he'll play when he won't get enough game time.
Yeah.
But he's a solid player. 10 to 15 goals a season. And it's just what we need, a player to back up Sonny and Kane. And I'm excited to see him play for us. And I want to see how it goes. But it's a 7.5 out of 10 because of the ridiculous transfer fee from Everton. But
how much is it? 50 plus add-ons?
60 without add-ons, I think.
It's mental. All right, Lenglet. I will go for a solid 7.
I think 8.5, because I'll tell you why. We're not gonna. I'm not sure. I don't think there's a buy option, but
there's no buy option.
Because we get there is.
No, there isn't.
There isn't. So it's good because we get a good player for 1 year. We're gonna get a good player for 1 year who will say, I need to try my best now to prove Conte, to prove Barcelona, that when I'll come back to Barca, I'll be the main centre-back player.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And I think that's good because it will be competition for Lenglet to show his Barca, to show Conte, and to say I've got this. So I think it's 8.5 because we're getting a player who will try fighting for a spot, a player with experience, and a player that can do very well under the circumstances with Conte. So 8.5.
So I said 7 because I feel like it's not the best transfer in the world. It's definitely not the best transfer we could have gotten. We could have gotten better Bastoni, Romero, Skriniar, Indica, so many players. But Lenglet, it's good. It's clever, but that's the most important bit. Foster,
it's clever because we also can't get Bastoni now, and when Bastoni next year we can get him. So you know what? It's a good. And if it ever goes well, we never know if Barca will say, okay, we can't have him anymore. It's costing us too much. So after the loan, and we never know if we'll buy him. So it's just a matter of time to see how he settles in. But I think it's an 8.5 because he's a player. He's a quality player.
Fair enough. Fraser Foster. Avia, how much would you give him?
6.5.
Oh, I'd go higher. I'll tell
you why. I think it's a good signing. But
I'd say 7.5 though.
So I'll tell you, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve higher, but I think the club could have kept Golini, who is way better in my opinion, and is a player who can grow in the club. And
in the Premier League yet.
I think Foster is reliable, but you know what? I take it back. 7, a solid 7. Okay, not too much, but a 7 because I think we could have done better. We could have gotten someone more younger who can get more experience from Lloris. Unlike Foster, it's good, it's reliable, but we need someone because in 2 years' time, Foster is out of here. We don't need him. Don't need him. He's old. We're gonna be expecting someone young. And
do you think now that we've finished the Premier League, we get into the Premier League now, do you think we will attract even more players if we finish higher? I mean, then the people will trust the squad even more and hopefully go for an even better goalkeeper than Fraser Foster.
Yeah, I don't think Foster is a stepping stone player. If you know what that is, it means we're going to be using him.
We're using him, but then keep him out. Yeah.
And I don't think he'll take it any personal. It's he's old. He's 30 something. Yeah. You have a good 1 or 2 years, and we just need him to be there now when we need him, and then we'll get someone else. But anyways, my point is a solid 7 because we can do better.
Fair enough. BISSOUMA, who compares the centre mid/CDM, I'm giving that a bang on 9.5, I'd say.
You're giving it a solid 7.5.
Whew. Wow, that's a big difference between us. Now, look, let me explain to you why I give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. The reason why I'm giving it a 9 is because we needed a midfielder to help in this squad depth, and I think BISSOUMA solves it perfectly because he compares a central defensive midfielder, which we only had Skip and Højbjerg, and the rest were attacking midfielders. But then we also needed a normal midfield, like a centre mid, a strong centre mid, which BISSOUMA suits perfectly. Why have you given him a 7?
No, a 7.5.
7.5.
It's a good signing, but it doesn't deserve to go above the 8 because we need to see how he settles into the system, and we need to see if he's got that hunger. Because in Brighton, he was promised to get game in, game out, game in, game out. He didn't even need to worry. He could have had a bad game, but he'd continue playing. Here, we need to see how he copes with real competition. Players who can actually be an imminent threat to his playtime. And that's where it comes into battling young Oliver Skip. Why can he play and can I not? Or battling against Højbjerg and seeing how he settles in.
Why should Højbjerg play and him not? Yeah.
So that's why it's a 7.5, because there's so much battle between the two players, between the midfield. We need to see how much hunger does he have.
Look, after all, we need to make sure that everyone can fight for a place in the squad. Unlike Steven Bergwijn, who he was not able to fight for his place because he just never got his place. But talking about fighting for a place, we've got Perisic, who can play the left mid and left wing back. Rank this transfer out of 10.
Me, I'd give it a solid 8.5. And I'll tell you why. I wouldn't give it more than that because, Perisic, he can play as a striker. If you didn't know, he can play as a striker. In many occasions, he played for Croatia as a striker, as a centre mid sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. The Croatian Milner. So he played once as a striker for Croatia, and I think it's a good player because he can come in from the wing back position in the middle of a game, go up to left mid, someone covers him. So he's really good when you want to play quick.
Yeah, he can get to all points. But the reason why I also gave him an 8.5 was because he can't get a 9 because he's very old. That's the thing. He's quite old. He's like
30. We won't be able to have him for another 5 more years, which is
he's not playing for 5 years. He's a player for around 2 years. Pardon?
He's 33. It's old.
33
He's a really good player. I'm excited to see him play. I'm happy.
By 35, he'll probably be leaving the club. But I think in general, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Abiel, in general, how much would you, like, last question for the live, how much and what rating would you give Tottenham Hotspur's transfer window so far?
What rating would I give that? For Tottenham's transfer window? So far?
So far. And we still have around 2 to 3 players coming in.
A solid 8. We've covered what we, I wouldn't say now we've got the best players, but we've covered what we needed, and we didn't spend too much money and for getting what we wanted, because we know we have loads of money in the budget, and keeping the money for the winter could be very good, and not so I think we've done quite well in matter. We've managed to keep our money. We managed to keep the financial situation. We've managed to got players to cover. We have
the positions we needed.
In the positions we needed, because last time Champions League, we were there and we didn't have much backup. We didn't have a backup striker. That's mental.
Yeah, that's mental. Yeah.
And
it's
we
crazy.
didn't have we didn't have a good backup striker, because our backup striker was Son. And then we have no good left wing, which I must say, now I wouldn't be scared if Son or Kane got injured.
Yeah. I mean, don't say that, but I mean, yeah, maybe. Look, it was great transfer. I would also give it an 8. I agree with you what you said. Abiel, it's been a pleasure for having you on the live once again.
One last question.
Go for it.
If we would end our transfer window like that,
yeah,
how would you rate it? If that's how it would end,
I would take it down to a 7.3. What would you go?
Let's give it a solid 7. We could have done more, but what?
I think I'll be upset if we can't get the Jed Spence deal over the line.
Oh,
by the end.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we've done okay, but we've done okay in the transfer window if we were to end now. But you know what? Well done to us. We've managed to buy some players, and we've managed to do quite a job that's, I'd say, well done, guys. Well done.
Exactly. I agree. Well done, Abiel. You absolutely smashed it once again. Thanks for coming on. And, everyone go follow Abiel on Instagram. Come on, guys. I'll put the link to his Instagram in the chat after the live. In the bio. Don't worry, I will. In the bio, I'll put him. So thanks so much, Abiel.
No problem. Thank you very much, Josh. Good night, guys.
Night. So yes, that was all the live we had today. Obviously, the Spurs players have now gone to Korea, and this is the final team that went to South Korea. It includes Hugo Lloris, Fraser Foster, Brandon Austin, Josh Killenny. We also got a nice Davinson Sanchez, Christian Romero, Eric Dyer, Jaffa Tanganga, this interesting player, Malachi Fagan Walcott, Ben Davis, Charlie Sayers, Matt Doherty, Emerson, Royal Rodrigo, Bentancur, Yves Bissouma, Pape Matar, Sa, and then obviously we got the insane Viking pyramid, Højbjerg, the young Oliver Skip, Harvey White, Ryan Sessegnon on the left wing back position, and a newly signed left wing back, left mid that we just covered with Abiel just now, even Perisic, Brian Hill, Dejan Kulusevski, new sign with Richarlison, number 10 HarryKane, came back from loan Troy Parrott, Lucas Moura, Champions League hat-trick winner, and HeungMinSon Golden Boot winner alongside Mo Salah last season. It was amazing. Thanks so much for everyone who's watched this live, who's interacted with us this live. We really might we appreciate everything you guys do for us. We hit 550 subscribers, so that's amazing. On road to 1,000 subscribers, and we are about to hit 10,000 subscribers to 10,000 followers on Instagram. So make sure you guys go all head over to our Instagram. Make sure you guys like our video that we just did now on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're new. Comment your favorite Tottenham player, and we'll be out. Comedy Spurs. Tottenham are building a team and not Tottenham are building an army and not a team. Come on, you Spurs.
Here's Lucas Moura. Oh,